Good morning and welcome to the first official episode of Coffee with Kelley. I am super excited you're here and I look forward to the journey together. So without further ado, I guess my vision for this series, I envision discussing a lot about health, fitness, lifestyle, behavior change, a conglomerate of all the things I'm passionate about, combining what I went to school for as well as things that I just kind of really enjoy spending my time reading or focusing on. And for today's episode, I went in and kind of pulled out the archives. I did some market research this past summer and pulled some of my followers online to find out what kind of content would draw them in, what are they looking to learn about, read about, talk about, discuss. And so I decided for at least this first few weeks, I'm going to tap into that list. But along the way, if there's anything that you want to discuss or talk about or learn about or explore, I'm absolutely open to that, as I think this is going to be an opportunity for all of us to kind of learn from each other and hopefully gain a little inspiration, motivation, ideas to kind of help us create our best life. So today's topic is actually high intensity interval training, and I had a question from one of my amazing followers about, how do I engage in this? What are some ideas for workouts with this? And I actually wrote an article just the other day for the American Council on Exercise on high intensity interval training and fall fat loss. And so I thought, well, what a perfect opportunity to talk about it using this platform here as well. So before we kind of dive into kind of the nitty gritty of high intensity interval training, I kind of wanted to back up a little bit and explain this type of training and when I first was kind of introduced to it. So my background being in health and exercise science, typically learning the physiology of exercise, the fundamentals, the basics. But when I was a sophomore in college, I actually was introduced to Dr. Jay Tita and his company with his brother, Dr. Keona Tita, Metabolic Effect. And I remember being at the Gold's Gym in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, going to a class to learn about this new exercise group training called Metabolic Effect. And for the first time, that's when I heard the concept rest is success and rest-based training. And I'm like, what? This is crazy. Who rests when they work out? But it didn't take me very long after being in one or two of their classes to get that concept and this idea of pushing our bodies as hard as we can and then allowing our bodies to rest while we're training and then jumping back in when we're ready. And these workouts were like 20 minutes total. There was a 5-minute warm-up, 20 minutes of working out, and a 5-minute cool down. And this, to me, I was mind blown. I was used to spending a minimum of 2 hours a day in the gym. In the morning, doing long, steady state cardio. In the evening, sometimes lifting, maybe doing more cardio. But here was this concept that was just short, sweet, and to the point. And it was very intense. But also, I will never forget when I taught my first Metabolic Effect class, I had a probably young bodybuilder in his mid-20s, mid to late 20s. But I also had this like 75-year-old woman, and I remember my eyes getting so big. How am I going to teach to both? But the beauty of, I think, high intensity interval training, pretty much in any training, is the scalability, right? So anyone of any fitness level can train in this mode. And what I mean by that is that anyone can go with the intention to work out, let's say for 20 minutes, and have this idea, I'm going to push till I can't, and then I'm going to rest. And to scale that, maybe the range of motion is lower. So if you are just getting into training, perhaps it's not even using weights, it's just doing the movement and then resting, because that's enough. And then as you progress, you can either grab heavier weights or you can try and push yourself to go longer before you allow yourself to rest. And so the idea with high intensity interval training is we're kind of pushing our body to its limit. And I think this is also kind of indicative of life. You're going to hear me talk about life in a lot of our talks, right? And in anything, I think if we're going to grow and we're going to progress and get to our next level, we have to get in that zone that's a little bit uncomfortable. If we just do what we normally do, we're not going to change. It's the same with exercise. If we just do what we normally do, we're not going to change. We've got to have that overload principle, pushing ourselves past our comfort zone to invoke change in our bodies physically. But it's the same in life. If we want to get to that next level, if we want to make the next step, we've got to push ourselves. So keep that in mind. So the other benefit about high intensity interval training is that it's great for fat loss. It does a great job of, stimulating those hormones and allowing our bodies to again, burn fat. Typically with traditional long steady state cardiovascular exercise, although we're still burning calories, it's basically going on in that moment, where when we're training with high intensity interval training, we're literally going all out that we can for that amount of time, and then our body is still recovering for it after, and a lot of times it's putting our body in this mode called post-exercise oxygen consumption, or EPOC, which is going to allow our bodies to still burn because we're kind of making up for this debt that we just created in our bodies. The other thing that's super beneficial about high intensity interval training is time, right? It's super efficient and effective. And so that's the other thing, especially for beginners, when you're like, I just don't have time to get to the gym, or I don't want to go to the gym for 2.5 hours. And some people they might enjoy that, but for I think a lot of us, we want to be efficient and effective in our day, and we want to kind of get the most out of everything that we do. And that's the same kind of concept for HIIT training. And so the idea here is that you're there for 20 or 30 minutes working out, and you're putting everything you can into it, and then you're done. And it's great, like I said, not only for all fitness levels, but in terms of efficiency and effectiveness. And so, when I was in college, I was introduced to metabolic effect, and I loved it, and I actually brought it to grad school, and Jade and Jill came, and they put on a conference to train some trainers. Flashing forward, more in today's era, the concept of Orange Theory's come around. That's the same idea. High intensity interval training, those are more formatted hour-long classes. And then just recently, I kind of was fighting the wave, but I joined a CrossFit gym. Same idea, like we'll go through some strength training, but really our workouts are no more than 20 minutes in length. They're pretty intense, but they're also very scalable. And so no matter what your fitness level is, you just work out to what you can do. And I think that's another great thing. The one thing I like about high intensity interval training classes is that you have that camaraderie, and that you also kind of have that internal and external motivation. So sometimes I'm like, oh, she's still going, I can do a couple more. Okay, and we're back. I'm learning the ropes of creating content, video content, and part of it is creating enough space on your phone. So anyways, that's what we were saying, time, efficiency, effectiveness. Again, 20 minutes you can carve that in your day, whether it's getting up in the morning, drinking your coffee, and then getting in your 20-minute workout. I think that this is a great place to start no matter where you're at, whether you're trying to jumpstart fat loss, get into fitness, whether it's through cardiovascular exercise, resistance training, or both. HIIT training is a great way to engage in exercise and kind of get your body going. It's also a great stress relief. Again, a lot of times when we have so much on our plate, one of the things we do is we put self-care to the side, but this 20 minutes can actually make you more effective, release some stress, as well as help you sleep better. So I definitely think when all else fails, exercise should be your go-to remedy, and HIIT training can be a great way to kind of help you, again, regain clarity, get focused, have that energy, that positive energy to get you through your day, as well as have some great health benefits. And so that's kind of where I'm at today with high intensity interval training. I think that we should all try and incorporate it a bit. Again, it's scalable to your fitness level, so no matter where you're at, you'll be. So if you're looking for some high intensity interval training workouts, definitely head over to my blog, as I'll be posting those. And if you have any questions, send me an email at kelley@kelleyvargo.com, and I'll be sure to help you out. Until next time, have a great day, enjoy your coffee, and I will see you soon. Bye.